Greetings everybody, welcome back to another episode of Serious Adventures in SeriousPack. You can see Jess running around in her natural habitat, searching for trees, picking some fruits, while holding a book or something. No, I think that's a cactus fruit. Anyway, I was just going to build our first Tinker's pick. Now, I talked about how maybe I don't want to use this or etc, you know, but I'm just gonna make like not a super fancy pick. We're gonna make an aluminite pick. It is good enough to break like obsidian and stuff, and you can also use it to get the good Tinker's Construct materials from the Nether, which I'm probably not gonna do because that would be one of those awesome picks. And I kind of said I don't want to use them, but I just needed a decent pick that will last long and that we can repair easily and so on. So to make a pick, if you can just look it up here. There's some examples, for example, like the aluminite pick. If you hold, I think it's control, it shows you the materials it's made out of. In this case, it's just all three: aluminite, pickaxe, binding, and tool rod. But you can mix and match materials in Tinker's Construct. And to figure out what kind of materials and parts you need for a tool, you make these four thingies here. You make the part builder, which is like the central, the tool station, which is like your central little block where you craft all your different tools here. And there are two different tiers of tool stations. There's like the wooden one, and then later on you get like this, I think it's called something else. What's it called? Those fancy ones? Tool forge. Those are a little bit more expensive. They require like blocks of, of ores, but they let you make a lot better tools. But for the beginning, we just use the normal wooden one. It's pretty cheap. If you look at these things, tool station, it's just one of these crafting stations, and then a blank pattern. A blank pattern is just sticks and planks, and you need a couple of those. And so you make this. You also get a pattern chest. This is where you store all your different patterns for your tool parts. Then you make a part builder. This is where you use your, like the patterns and turn them into the parts itself. And then you also have the stencil table where you put in these blank patterns just in the middle here. And then you can select which pattern you want. And then you grab it from here. So that's all there is to it. All right, so if we want to make a pickaxe, which is what I want to do, just select the pickaxe thing here, and it tells you what you need. On the right side, it writes it out, but you also see like an image here. So we need a pickaxe head, a tool binding, and a handle. All right. So I made some patterns already. So you would go over to here to your stencil table and pick the ones you want. I put them into this chest. If you put this little pattern chest right next to the part builder, it gets like this little window here where you actually have access to the chest inside your part builder, which is really useful. So we would need a pickaxe head, a tool binding, and a tool rod. Now be careful, there's like tool rod, but there's also a tough rod. There's a tough tool binding, but we just want the normal ones. And if you hover above it, it also tells you how expensive it would be to craft these things. So if you want a pickaxe head, it means you need 1 ingot. And this is kind of the advantage of Tinkers too. You don't need 3 ingots to make a pickaxe, you only need 1. So you could put this in here and then use a material, for example, cobblestone, and get your whatever you want. I'm making a cobblestone right now because we actually want the pickaxe head made out of aluminite. The only issue is that you cannot use certain materials such as aluminite, I believe. Actually, I'm not sure. Let me double check this real quick. Yeah, okay. So if you click on here, aluminite pickaxe head, it actually tells you that you have to use the smeltery to get this. And the reason for that is this metal is too hard to just use a normal stencil for it. There's some other things like the, like if you would use sawmium tool rods, for example. Not the tough one, but what's the normal? Alright, I can't click on the sawmill one, but for example, if you want like, like you saw the stone one, you can use stone here and create the head out of it. But if you need certain metals, you need to use the smeltery for that. And to do this, you can't use this wooden pattern because, it would like burn up or whatever if you would use that and dump on like hot liquid molten metal. So yeah, you need something else. You need a, what is it called? Tinker's, a cast. That's what it's called. You need to make a cast. All right, and to make a cast, you need either molten gold, or aluminum brass. And to make aluminum brass, you need a little bit of aluminum, 48 millibuckets, and 60 millibuckets copper. So that's not quite a lot. I did find some aluminum and I dumped it into the smeltery. So I actually have a little bit in here. So I'm gonna go get copper and make this brass real quick. All right, so I have some copper in here. It's melting down. We still have the aluminum inside. So once this is melted, it will mix with the aluminum and create some brass. While it's doing that, let's work on the other part. So we found out that we need a head, which we're working on, but we also need a tool binding and a rod. I'm actually gonna make the rod out of aluminite as well. So I'm gonna leave this for now. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna grab a stone tool rod. This is gonna be important for the cast we're making. And if you hover over it, it says material cost is 0.5. I put one piece of cobblestone inside. I got the tool rod, and I have like this little stone shard. That's because a cobblestone counts as like one material, but we only need half of it. So it gives you half back. So you can put this in again, like half of it, and make another tool rod if you want. But you don't really need this right now. Fortunately, I can't put it in there. So I'll just leave it there or grab it real quick. And I'm gonna make a tool binding, and I think I'm gonna use paper for that. You can use paper binding, and you know, on the right side it always shows you what this would do. There's some weird modifiers, handle, if you put on a handle, mining speed modifiers, and so on. But we're gonna make a paper binding, and the reason for this is this has the ability, it says writable. What writable means is that once you make your tool, you get modifiers on your tool, so you can like enchant them, and with writable you actually get an extra one, so you can enchant it a little bit more. All right, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, so we have the aluminum brass in here. It's at the bottom. Always make sure you select it. And then to make the actual cast, we need like a negative, and that's why we made these two parts. So we want to make a pickaxe head cast. So you put in your stone pickaxe head, and then you dump over the aluminum brass, and then after a few seconds it hardens up, and you know, now you have your negative, so you have like the same shape. And then you can use this one to actually cast in the molten metal that you want to use. So we're gonna do the same for the stone rod. Also, in the background I'm doing laundry, so hopefully it's not too loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I hope not. But anyway, so now we have our two little casts here. So we can put in the pickaxe one, and I already prepared the aluminite that we want to use. And to get aluminite, just so I can show you, you just look for it, you click on it, and then it shows you need a little bit of aluminum, molten iron, and obsidian. If you have all these three things in your smeltery, it creates aluminite. So click on it. You know, like I said, whatever you click on moves to the bottom, and everything that's on the bottom will come out. So we have 3 ingots in right now. Pickaxe head costs 1 ingot, and the tool rod half an ingot. So just dump it in there, and it's slowly filling just that shape. Grab it, grab the shape, the cast, put the tool rod in there, cast this as well, and there you go. Now we have a aluminite rod, an aluminite pickaxe head, and a paper binding. All right, very cool. So let's get over to our tool station, select the pickaxe, and just put in the pieces, all 3 of them. Oops, that's not it. And there you go, there you see it. This is your final product. On the right side, you see how much durability it has, how the mining speed is, and what level it can mine. Cobalt is like a high one. This is the stuff you find in the nether, which we don't worry about for now. And it shows you how many modifiers you have. So I can, as an example, I can just show you if I get like a cobblestone binding or stone binding, for example, and I don't use the paper one, we only have 3 modifiers. So that's what the writable does. It just adds another modifier to it. You can give it a name. It's called SeriousPack. And there it is, your first tool. You can hold shift, it tells you things about it. You can hold control, it shows you the materials. But yeah, very cool. So, and if you want to add modifiers now, you click the first icon, the anvil here, it says repair and modification. So here you can repair your tool or modify it. So you put in your tool, and then you put anything in here to modify this. the first thing I want to get is a ball of moss. What a ball of moss does, it slowly repairs your pick over time if you have it in your inventory. It kind of uses like the sunlight. I don't think you have to be outside. Maybe you do, I'm not sure. But it will slowly repair your pick over time. And to get a ball of moss, you just grab 9 pieces of mossy cobblestone. And you're gonna go to your crafting table. I should probably place one outside here. Come on, door, let me in. Go to your crafting table, combine those, and you get a ball of moss. Okay, and I'm also gonna grab a diamond and a bunch of lapis. I'll show you why in a second, but let's put on the moss ball first. So go back here. A little bit of a lag, it seems. Come on, server, you can do it. There you go. So you just put on your ball of moss, and at the right side it shows you when we do this, it's not committed yet, you can still remove it. As soon as you click here, it's committed, and it also changes the look of your pickaxe. It shows you that now we'll have the moss modifier, but as you can see, it takes 1 away. Alright, and it also shows here the green text auto repair. So let's do that. So yeah, it will auto repair over time, pretty cool. So I'm also gonna put on the diamond. Again, takes 1 modifier, but it adds 500 durability to it. Not really necessary, but I just like to have a lot of durability on it so I don't have to repair this often, maybe. And I'm gonna put on this lapis. Actually, let's turn this into blocks. It's getting nighttime. Alright, let's do the blocks. I'm just turning it into blocks because it's easier to use it then, because I'll show you in a second why. If you put lapis on your pick, you will get, see, it says 1 out of 450, so it takes 1 modifier, but you can put on 450 lapis before that 1 modifier runs out, and we still have 1 left afterwards, and it adds luck. All right, so, and obviously the more lapis you have on there, the more luck you get. So the highest is luck 3, it's kind of like fortune, it's the same thing. And obviously if you would do this now, add like 1 by 1, it would take forever. So you make these blocks, so now you would add 9 at a time. Right now we have 5, and then we would have 19. You can also split the stack and put it down here so it does it double. So see, that's so much faster. So I'm gonna have to find a bunch of lapis and put it on there. So right now we have it on 131, and it's still luck 1, fortune 1. But yeah, there's our first awesome pickaxe, and now I'm gonna go spend a lot of time mining all the goodies down there. Alright guys, I went down into the mine shaft, I got a bunch of things. Also got a little bit of lapis, so I could upgrade my luck on this pickaxe. So we had 385 out of 450, so that's almost full. Should give us at least like luck 2 or something, maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I left a bunch of diamonds down there, so I'm probably gonna go back and get them once I have my pick. Well, maybe at 450, maybe I'll do it soon, I don't know yet. But it is time for some Thaumcraft again. I want to unlock a few things. We need to do a lot of stuff to get to the kind of next step in Thaumcraft, which is the infusion altar, but we'll get there soon. One thing I want to unlock first, 2 things actually. The one being research expertise. This is not too important for me because I have it on easy setting. This is more something for if you actually use the research nodes to unlock things. And there's just a chance that if you like do this mini game, you get some points back if you mess something up. But like I said, I don't have to do the mini game, so it's not really too important for me. But the one thing I really want is the deconstruction table. This one seemed to be pretty useless at first when I tried this the first time. Let's unlock it right now. It's not too expensive, you know, thermometer, table, and a few gold tools. It's a little bit expensive on the aspect side, but it's not too bad. But what it does is you put in an item, any item you want, like cobblestone for example, and it slowly breaks it down. It slowly tries to break it down into the aspect it contains. So for example, it has Terra and Padicio. So it's going to try to break it down to that. The more complex an item is, the higher the chance that you actually get an aspect out of it. It's probably a little bit easier to explain once I build it, so I'm gonna go ahead real quick and make one, and we'll see what it does. Alright, I made the items we need, the table, this second thermometer, and those tools. Actually, before we build this guy, I want to do something else. So let's put this on the side for now. One thing I would like to unlock first is the enchanted fabric. So we can actually unlock this because we have enough stuff. And if you click on it, it just, you know, tells you a little bit about how magical this fabric is, and you can make armor out of it. You can make the thaumaturge set, which is like the robe, the pants, and the boots. They all require, like, you know, a piece of fabric, sort of like the same way how you make any other armor piece. It does require a little bit of aspects to craft, but it's not too bad. So I actually want to go ahead and craft this, and you make this by just using one string and a little bit of wool. Unfortunately, I'm probably out of wool, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and get some back. I have only 3, I think. That might be all I have, because I used most of them. I was actually just out to get some, but I used most of them in the sack mill I made earlier from NIO. It can break down wool into string. Oh, actually, we can just combine it, can't we? Yeah. So how much would we need? Let me double check. All right. So we need 19 in total, because we don't need a hat. A full set of armor is always 24 items or pieces. We don't need a hat, which is 5, so we need 19. I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough for that. Like I said, I might have to go out and get more again. So that's 19. Yeah, we definitely need a way more string. So I'm gonna just go and do that real quick. Alright, so I'm back with a bunch of wool. We should really move our animals, or some of the animals, over here, so I don't have to walk around so much. This always gives 4. Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna let this go. I brought a armor stand as well. I'm gonna place it right here, maybe. Pretty cool. Right click and you can put on armor. So we'll use that. Let's see, how much do we get from this? Still need a little bit, but we can start making some of this fabric. This one might still have a little bit left, so we don't have to use our new one. So I'm gonna grab as much as I can from this. Only 6, and then we're out. Okay, so we have to use our new one now. Let's get the rest. So we need 9 more. Do we have enough now? Come on, hurry up. I hope we have enough string. I think we do. Maybe I miscalculated this. Let's see. Nah, we should have enough. Let's get some of that, a little bit more. Also, you might have noticed I have a magnet now. This one is from Practicalities. It's super cheap. Apparently I can't look up the recipe. There you go. It just requires the North Pole thing, which is iron, redstone. This one is iron and blue dye. And then you need a radiant core, just gold and a pearl. Super easy, super useful early on. I do recommend making one. Alright, that should be enough. And the reason why I want to make this armor... There we go, last piece. How's our wand doing? Yeah, not so good. The reason why I want to make this, because we still have to craft the armor now too. And this costs quite a bit. This one gives you V's discount as well. So I'm going to put this on 1 by 1, so we get a little bit more. So now we have 7%. You can see it on the one, 93%. Oops, let's not make a second one by accident. Let's make this and the shoes. Alright, put this on, 2%. And 1%. So now we actually get 10%, I believe. Oops, did I not? Oh, helps if I not wear other stuff already. There you go. Now we should get 10%. Yes. See, 90% total. And we look really fancy. Awesome. And that's why I made the armor stand, so we can just come over here and, you know, dump our normal armor on here and just grab it if we don't need the Thaumcraft one. But yeah, now things will be a little bit cheaper to make. And now we can also make the deconstruction table, because it is quite expensive, but now it costs 18 instead of 20, so a little bit better than if we would use the full price. So let's make one of those guys. And I'm just gonna put one, I guess right here. No, let's put it right here. Can't really see, well, it's not a good spot to show you that thing, I guess. Let's move it forward a little bit, just so you can see what it looks like. It has a little salmon meat on top, very cool. Speaking of which, there you go, got a little bit. I'll just leave this here for now. So like I said, you can grab some items, put them up here, see a little hologram, and then it breaks it down. And there's a chance that every time it does this, it will create a primal aspect here. It doesn't do any compounds, it only does primal. If it has a compound one, like this one, spruce, it just shows one of the primal ones that's being used in this compound one. So you will only always get a compound one. And the aspects you get here are actually research points. So if you ever like run out of scanning things and you can't find more nodes to scan, this is one way of getting more research points in here. Now you will notice that we put in quite a bit of cobblestone and we don't actually get any yet so far. It's a very low chance if the item is very simple, such as cobblestone. If it's a more complex item, the chances are higher. I guess this one will probably be quite complex. Yeah, so we got Ignis out of that. And you only always get one. So that's why I usually didn't use this, because it doesn't seem too useful. Like, it takes forever to get something and you need to destroy really good items. Well, there's one item in Thaumcraft, or not in Thaumcraft, in Minecraft I guess, that gives you pretty much 100% chance of getting an item, and it's always a really good one. It's the crafting table. It has this hammer symbol, which I forgot the name of, Fabrico. And if you follow down this path, like it's made out of Humanus and Instrumentum. Instrumentum is Ordo and Humanus. Humanus is Cognito and Bestia. Bestia is Modus and Victus. So you can see there's a lot of different steps to this crafting table. It's actually a very complex item. And if you dump this in here, you will notice, got one. So it's pretty much 100% chance that you get a primal aspect. It's random. I think it has all 6 inside. That's the awesome thing about the crafting table. It contains all 6 different primals, so you will definitely get one. And I can show you here, you know, this is an air one right now. We have 75. If I click this, we have 76. So yeah, it's a very good way to get research points if you don't have anything left to scan. And, you know, just make 2 of those, place them next to each other. You can even put hoppers behind to fill them with crafting tables. And then you go click, and then you right click here, click, and then you go back, click. Like, the timing will be good. You can go back and forth like this and click these. And you can actually collect quite a bit of research points like this. So very awesome. I'll probably use this to get some as well. All right, let's look at the Somnonomicon again. The next thing I want to unlock is the basic alchemy. We haven't done anything with this yet, so I think we should do that. Basically what you have to do is grab a cauldron, you know, hammer on it with your wand, and it will turn into a chemical cauldron or whatever they call it. I forgot what the name is. It's probably somewhere in here. And with that, you can dump in items, and when you do that, it will break them down into the aspects it contains. So if you dump in cobblestone, you get liquid terra and liquid padicio, and then you can dump in I guess you call it a compound or a catalyst, I think that's the word, and it will craft something out of it. So here it shows you a recipe how to get these balance shards that we need for stuff later. You need 5 primal aspects, and then the one that's missing needs to be the shard that you dump in as the catalyst, and then you get a balanced one. But there are a few other things we can make, such as nitor, alumentum, Somnium, which is really useful, some magic tallow, and so on. So let's unlock some of these. Nitor. So if you give it 3 Ignis, 3 Lux, and 3 Potentia, and you dump in a piece of glowstone, you get a piece of Nitor. Well, what is Nitor? Nitor counts as a light source. I actually found one when I was checking out the village. There's one. If you place it down, it's like a little light. It looks really cool. Nice particles. But you can also use it as a as a heat source for your cauldron. So normally if you place down your cauldron, you need a heat source, such as lava or fire below. But you can also use this one, and you know, the upside is it doesn't burn down stuff. So let's actually grab a cauldron right here, and we can just leave it in the house, I believe. Might be better to do it outside. I'm gonna try to put it here. Is there something below this? There might not something below here. Awesome. So I put down our nitor, put down a cauldron on top, and now we need a water source. I actually have a brick well that I'm gonna go grab real quick. It's from Pam's Harvest Craft, and what it lets you do is it's kind of like an infinite water spring. This one here, a brick well, pretty cheap to make, just needs like 3 bricks and a little bit of iron. But it's like an infinite water source that you can grab with your bucket. It's really cool. So we're gonna place this next to it because you need to fill the cauldron with water. Just put this here for now. So just dump it in. And after a few seconds you will see it bubbles. Oh wait, sorry, that's the normal cauldron still. We still need to turn it into a magical one. There it is. So now it has this Thaumcraft logo in front of it. And then you dump in your water. And then after a few seconds it will start to bubble. If it has the right heat. There it is. Gotta scan it. Alright, so let's make some nitro. I do have a little bit of glowstone, I believe. There's some. And the cool thing about nitro is it's really easy to make. You need 3 lux, which is in torches, and you need potential and ignis, which is in coal. And you can see this one has 2, and this one has 1. You need 3 of each. So what I usually do is grab 3, that's 6 of each, and then grab 6 torches. And then you get exactly the ratio you need. And that will make 2 nitros. So we need 2 glowstone. So you just go ahead, stand on it, don't touch it, it hurts you. And you just dump it in your torches, and you see the things now, but you kind of have to be quick. There we go, we got 2 nitro. You kind of have to be quick because if you wait too long, it will slowly break down your liquid essentia into other ones. So after a few seconds, it will break it down. There's also a chance that when you dump in things that you don't want, like if I do the torch, but I actually don't need this, you can shift right click with your wand to empty it, and it releases it into the air. You need to be careful with that. The more essentials you have in your cauldron when you release it, there's a high chance that it will create flux. Flux is nasty stuff. You don't want flux. We talk about that a little bit later, I guess, but yeah, just be careful. Just be a little bit conservative with your stuff. Alright, let's take a look at the book. Running out of time here. I want to unlock a few more things. Alumentum. Alumentum is kind of like coal on steroids. You put in 3 ignis and 3 potentia, which is coal. And you need a little bit of perdicio, which you can get from, I guess, cobblestone maybe. But cobblestone also has terra, so you end up with some rest. There was another thing you can use. I forgot. That's a really good way to do this. And you dump in coal or charcoal and you get alumentum. And if you look at it, it has a burn time of 6,400 compared to coal, which is 1,600. So 4 times as much as coal. Be careful with this. If you right click on a block or anything with this in your hand, it will explode. So it says unless you enjoy an explosion. So be careful with that. But really cool to have too. So we'll make some of that eventually. Let's unlock a few more things. Magical metallurgy. If you have 4 Precantasio in your cauldron and you dump in iron, you actually get thaumium. And thaumium is like the Thaumcraft ingot. It's a very nice material. It's a slightly better than iron, but it's very high enchantable. So if you make tools out of it, it's very easy to enchant and get good enchantments on it. You can also make shears, a hoe, or armor. Thaumium, a helm, thaumium chestplate. It's pretty decent. It's not. I don't think it's as good as diamond. But it's pretty decent. It's good to have. We'll craft some of these later. And then we also open up more things like you can transmute ingots. Like you can dump in somehow 2 metallum, which you get from any ingot really. So for example, you could dump in, I don't know, like silver if you don't want silver or whatever, or copper. And then dump in an iron nugget, you actually get 3 iron nuggets. So you can kind of duplicate your materials, but you need, you know, the metallum catalyst, so you still need to use something for it. Metal purification we talk about a bit later. Magic tallow is nice to have. You can toss in some magic and rotten flesh, you get magic tallow, which you can use for candles. Candles are going to be important later, sort of, so it's nice to have. And you can see it keeps going, you know, into different branches. One more thing I want, definitely, once we have nitro and alumentum, you get essentia distillation. Essentia distillation is a pretty big topic. And basically what it lets you do, similar to the cauldron, it lets you break down items into liquid essentia, but instead of keeping it in the cauldron, you can then put it into jars. So you can actually save the liquid stuff in jars. And you will need this later on. You can use it for, you know, your alchemy by combining it with other things. Or once we get the infusion altar, it's going to be important as well. So that's a very good way to get the stuff. To break it down, you need the chemical furnace. Shows you the recipe here. Costs a little bit to craft it. And then you also need these alembics. And these are what kind of contain the liquid. And then later on you can pipe them out by making these essential tubes. So it's a pretty big topic, and we don't really have time for that today. So I think we will actually look into this next episode because we really want to get this going. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool system. But yeah, other than that, just go around and unlock a few things, especially with like the alchemy stuff here. You can turn, you know, iron into gold or other materials that you want. And just look around. What else you can unlock? It's pretty cool. And oh, here it is. This is what I wanted. Infusion. This is the big thing we are working towards. I'm gonna leave this locked for now because we can't really do much with it yet. Because we need the chemical stuff going first. But yeah, should be pretty cool. Hopefully there wasn't too many infos again. I will probably break down some crafting benches here. Helps to have a tree farm, would be a lot better. Unfortunately, you can't automate this as far as I know. But like I said, just put 2 of these next to each other and you get them pretty quickly afterwards. But yeah, I think that will do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, hopefully there wasn't too many infos too quickly. Maybe next time we'll focus mostly on Thaumcraft so we can explain a little bit more and not rush it as much. But yeah, get yourself a cauldron, dump in things, craft things. It's awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Bye bye.